Why hello there beautiful people and welcome to OTT. This time out we're going to be taking a little look at a game coming out later this year. It's going to be released on March the 20th. It is Project Cars. Now in this little video I'm going to show you some clips in the background. All the pictures you see are official screenshots from Project Cars. All the information I've gathered is from their website and from various other sources. I will also be telling you about the ethics behind this game, the sort of way that they've approached making it, and what sort of driving game you should expect from it. Also, I'm going to give you the reasons why I think you should be excited about this game and why you should be looking forward to it if you're a driving fan. Now, it is made by Slightly Mad Studios. I refer to them as Mad Dog from time to time, but they are officially called Slightly Mad Studios. It's distributed, I think, by Namco Games. Now, some of the most important things you need to know. It's unlike any other racing game that I am aware of. Instead of it starting you off on your career in a lower tier form of racing, in a much slower vehicle, and then you work your way up through the ladder, on this you get to pick what sort of race type and championship you want to enter straight from the start, which means that all available championships and race forms are available from the start, which is great to know, and also you can approach it in almost any way you want. As far as any demos are coming or any early access through Steam is not really anything around at the minute. The devs have said that they are hoping to try and bring something towards that, so hopefully we'll get a demo or an early access version at some point. Some of the most other important things is, as you can see, the graphics are beautiful. It's had many different quotes through different sources that really do praise this game for its quality of the graphics and just everything about it, its visual presentation. The tracks, it's got over 60 from what I'm aware. I'll name some of the most important tracks to you because this is going to be necessary for people that are keen on racing. You have 2 versions of the Le Mans circuit, you have Laguna Seca, you have 2 versions of Donington, you have 3 versions of Snetterton, you have Monaco. I think you have 2 versions of Monaco. I need to look more into that, it's a little bit complicated, the Monaco one. California Highway, now I need to look more into this as well. It has 5 different versions. So it's going to be very good for people that want to cruise by the looks of it, and it's going to be in stages or one big, it's basically a point to point. Also we have Glencairn, I think is how it's pronounced. It's a Scottish go-kart track that has over 6 versions. They're going to have Alton Park, Road America, Watkins Glen, which is in the USA as well. 2 versions of that. Going to be 2 versions of Brands Hatch. You're going to have the infamous Imola track, which is fantastic. I can't wait to drive on there. Hockenheimring, 3 versions of that. Silverstone, 4 versions. Monza 2, Abu Dubai Autodrome. There'll be 5 versions of that. Now all those tracks are very appetizing. There's going to be more than that as well. That's just what's already been announced. And you'll see various pictures from these different tracks come up as we go along. Some of the most important things is the developers behind this. Now Slightly Mad I've worked on Need for Speed Shift 1 and Shift 2 Unleashed. Now, some of the people out there might be a bit worried about that. I mean, obviously it's a good thing because these developers know what car fans like. As one of the quotes says, one of their screenshots says, it's a driving game made by drivers. Now, as far as will it handle like that, this is the official line on it. No, it won't. The physics, handling, force feedback, input lag, tyre model, all aspects have been rewritten. Racing sim fans and racing professionals have all tested the aspects of the physics to do with the driving. So that's looking like it's had a lot of time and effort put into it. So that's always a good sign. Unfortunately though, you would expect maybe some actual car customization as far as upgrading performance wise, maybe even visual. But because this is more of a racing sim, there are officially not going to be any car upgrades at all. Although you still can do a full tune, a full setup on your car, so you can do your suspension, you can do your gearbox, etc, etc. I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work yet because I haven't had a chance to see it, so we'll see how that progresses. But also to do with tuning and setting up your car, there is a great feature which I think a lot of games could learn from this. They are going to be implementing a in-game engineer. Now this in-game engineer will help you troubleshoot any issues you have with setting up your car. So that's great for people that aren't confident at setting up their car. So that will be great. So these are the reasons why I think you should be excited. Because like I've said before, its quoted is going to be a competitor for games along the lines of Forza and Gran Turismo. Now, I'll just expand a little. In the last video to do with this subject, I mentioned that I didn't agree with the statement that was made by, I can't remember what company it was, so I won't even try and guess, but they said basically it was going to be up there with Forza and Gran Turismo. The reason why I didn't agree with the Gran Turismo part is because I don't think Gran Turismo is successful, basically. I really don't. And I'm not going to get into this because it's a very long, sticky subject for a few of my subscribers who initially got into my channel when I was playing Gran Turismo. But I will be honest with you. It's time for a next gen game, and a game on PlayStation that can compete with games like Forza. Now, obviously, this is a pure. It's even aimed at targeting PC racing sims like iRacing, I think, or racing, or something along those lines. So it's targeting a lot of big players in the driving sim world, or in the driving game world. Full stop. Now, this is a great thing. This is something that I've been hoping for a few years now on Sony. Is that they'll back a company. I don't know if they have backed them. So. Get that out of the way, but to see a game come up on Sony that can compete with game titles like Forza, and hopefully that's the last time I say that name in this video. Now, the reasons why I think you should be excited is my previous history of Slightly Mad Studios who are working on this. They have a great way of approaching driving games. Like, for example, just to give you a bit of info, if you've never played Shift 2, I'm not going to go on to Shift 1 because I spent more time on Shift 2, so I have more information for you on it. Now, Shift 2 was a bit buggy. They stopped patching it at a certain point, and it still has a few bugs in there, but it's still a workable game. The driving aspects, the feel of driving, like I've said to people before, it feels very on edge of your seat. It's quite exciting. It's because I think this studio understands, and I think they've mentioned this somewhere on the website as well, that they want to give it a simulator quality, but they want to keep it fun. They want to still inject that bit of adrenaline, because at the end of the day, you're playing a game, you're not driving a car in real life, so you got that lack of adrenaline and excitement. So not only do you have to make it like a simulator as far as the physics are concerned, you also have to inject a little bit of fun into there, and this is what Slightly Mad Studios really understands and really does know how valuable it is. Now, I can't say how good it's going to be, Project Cars. Don't get me wrong, it's not like I've got a pre-press release version or anything that I can claim that I've tried, because I haven't. But if there won't be this much praise behind it, and like I said, they've had real people testing this out, so it's not like they've just made up some physics and then sent it out to a few amateurs. They've sent it to people that are really into gaming, who are really into driving games, and they've also tried it on people that actually know what a race car feels like. All those are very important to making it. Now, this is what I love about Slightly Mad Studios. The way they approach making a game, I'm going to keep going on about this because I can't praise them highly enough, the way they approach making driving games. It's like fans making a game for fans. I know it's very similar to the quote they made, but that's what every time I've played a game of theirs, that's the feeling I get. It's like, this game understands what I like and it's trying to give me that the best as possible. Now imagine a company with those sort of philosophies to making a game, making a next gen version game which is targeting giants like, you know, like you get on Xbox and the other ones. Yes, I'm trying to avoid saying that F word again, it's not the swear word. But this should be really exciting, it really should be. So we can officially say that this game is going to have a bit of hype behind it. I'm going to try my best not to get too excited over it and create any hype, even though I really do think you should be excited for it. But as usual, this will probably be one of the rare games that I pre-order. The only game I pre-ordered last year was GTA 5 for the PS4. I do believe you shouldn't pre-order games unless you are doing it to back the developers behind it. That's the only time you should really do so, or unless you have complete faith in the company not to mess it up. Now, I want to pre-order this not because of anything extras that you get, which if you notice when you go on their website. By the way, also, I will put a link in the description to the trailers which are available on YouTube of Project Cars, so you can take a little look at it. There isn't actually much there for you to look at, but it will give you a good taste of it, a good little idea. But yeah, the only game I'm going to be pre-ordering this year is going to be Project Cars. But the things that come with it on the website, as you see, is you get a couple of cars, which aren't that amazing, but they look okay. You get a book and some other stuff, but if I do buy the pre-order or the special edition, I'm definitely going to pre-order it. Whether I get the special edition or not, I don't really think it's going to be worth it. But definitely I'm going to pre-order it, and I will go to the midnight launch and I shall make a video the same day. So if I'm out at the midnight launch, think what happened with the PS4 version of GTA 5. It'll be up about in the morning sometime, British time. So I'll definitely work at that. I'll give you a good first impressions look at it, and then I might even do a full review. I'll play a couple of days of it, and I might even, if it's worth it, it might be my first ever full review of a game. Because this is a game that I am very intrigued by, and not many people have even heard of it. So this is why I think it's valuable for me to do this, to inform you what this game is about and why you should take it seriously. Because at the end of the day, slightly mad because we're all pinning it on the Need for Speed Shift 1 and 2 as their sort of experience in the racing world, in the driving game world. And those games were hit and miss. Now, a lot of even Need for Speed fans were hit and miss with those two titles. So there is a bit of trepidation, but because this game has had so much effort put into it, they always put plenty of effort in, that's one thing you've got to credit them for. This game could be amazing. Now, if it's good enough that real racing drivers think it's okay, then maybe we should be not worried about it at all and just be excited and happy that we're getting this game. Now, I can't remember where my list is, but I'm just going to do it off the top of my head, so sorry if I get this wrong. But from as I'm aware, it's coming out only on next gen consoles. So if you're looking to get into this game on the PS3 or the Xbox 360, I don't think that's a possibility. It's going to be PS4, Xbox One, Wii U, and it's going to be PC through Steam OS, I think, through the Steam operating system for people that don't know. Now, for the PC users, I'm just going to add a little side note onto here. If you want to know what system requirements you're going to need to run Project Cars, go onto their website, www.projectcars.com, and go to the FAQ section, and then just look down there and it'll say technical, and then it'll just go on to PC requirements. It has a minimum requirement of what you'll need, and it has a recommended requirement. So it's all there for you to look at. But it does seem like it needs a pretty decent setup to play this game at its full potential. As you can see, the graphics are brilliant. As I showed you in the last video, the 2015, will it be a good year for gaming? The comparisons from the PS4 to the PC, the graphics aren't really that much difference, but you can see there's that extra bit more detail and an extra bit more vibrance from the colours, and just that 10% better visual quality. But like I said, those screenshots and comparisons of the PC version were used on the highest possible setting you could run it on a PC. So that's not a benchmark of the standard, that's a benchmark of what the best you can get out of it. So do bear that in mind, but I'm sure you already do. But for us console gamers, we can't bloody wait, because PS4, I think I've said this before, right now I've got no driving games to play. You can't really call Grand Theft Auto a driving game. Yes, I do like riding bikes on there, but there isn't actually a really good driving game. Need for Speed Rivals isn't really cutting it. It's good for about 2 hours on a Friday night with a few beers, and that's about it, unfortunately. But this is a common thing you'll hear from a lot of people on YouTube and just in the general gaming community, is that the new next gen consoles don't actually have that many games to play, which is rather sad, really, because people are just resorting to using their consoles for apps like Netflix and BBC iPlayer and YouTube, which I hold my hand up, I am in the same boat as you as well. It's never good at all, but this is why I thought I'll take this time and take this moment to tell you about Project Cars. Now, I hope you found all the information, useful? I shall be keeping an very big ear out. I don't have big ears, but you know, I'll keep my ear on the ground, listen out for any news to do with Project Cars, and if there's anything of significance or some major news comes out about it. Or, for example, there is going to be some news coming out between now and the release date on the online to let us know how the online is going to be structured, what sort of features it's going to have. So that's a lot more information to come our way. So once that does get released, I'll look it through, I'll make sure I read every single letter, and I shall report back to you with anything that is necessary. I won't bring you any hoo-ha. this is what also I do love about Slightly Mad. Everything you see written, what they write about their own game, isn't just always over the top hype and just nonsense. You know how these people just use these same words to describe a game, like, oh, it's groundbreaking, oh, it's a 10 out of 10, or I don't know, whatever. But these guys are really honest. They try and tell you what's there, but I think what they're doing more than anything is trying to keep it a bit of a secret and try not to get hype behind it. So this is why I must remind you, don't hype it up, get a little bit excited, just get a little excited, don't get over the top. Yes, we are on OTT, I am aware of the joke there, yes. Very amusing, yes. So, it's been lovely talking to you guys. I can't wait to get my hands on Project Cars. The minute I do, I will film it and I shall share it with you all. Hopefully it'll be a brilliant experience, hopefully we have a great game to look forward to. For now, love you as always. See you in the next video. Goodbye.